built up sediment that's in this pipe from out of the pond. And then going this way is going to be a permanent way to clean this out, and then this way is to the greenhouse. Okay, when you use this poly pipe, it goes over what are called barbed fittings, which you kind of press fit over. Then you usually use this ring clamp that you tighten with a screwdriver to squeeze it tight and form a seal. But like a lot of stuff, those ring clamps are like $4 or $5 a piece now, and when you do these projects, you can end up using a bunch of them. So my friend Ryan showed me this little tool, which you can just use nice cheap galvanized wire and this tool, and the wire does the same thing and squeezes it tight. So I used it some on the ram pump project, and now I'll use it again here. The only issue I've ever had is the wire's real pointy and I end up tearing up my fingers, so I'm wearing gloves. Now I twist this tool. If you ring, why does it push? Now this valve will function as a clean out valve where it's closed most of the time, but I can open it if I feel like there's sediment building up down here that I need to drain out, or if there's anything down here below the greenhouse that we ever want water for, we'll have this. Curious if it runs for a while, if it gets cleaner. Looks like it definitely did. Okay, so the interesting thing about the next phase is I've got water entering this pipe that's now in the trench heading uphill, and so whatever the current exact height of the pond is, that's how high water will make it up this hill. And so the pond is not full right now. If it was, that would be great, because I would know the maximum height that this water will reach just from gravity flow. But I'm going to have to figure out if I can Maybe if I just go around picking up the pipe and feeling it, I can feel where it gets heavy and where there's water in it. Because I'd rather not just start cutting the pipe into a bunch of pieces looking for it. I can also pull it out of the trench and start laying it across the hill and pull more and more out until water runs out of it. So I'm surprised how high the water's up here. I can just feel from the weight of this pipe, there's still water in it all the way up here. Yeah, so the current high water mark is up here really close to the greenhouse. And the pond, I could go measure it, but the pond is at least 2 vertical feet, if not 3 or 4 vertical feet short of its max height at overflow. So the water's going a lot higher than I expected, which is great because that means I don't have to pump it as far. Gravity gets it most of the way here. Okay, I'm working on the water pipe project. So I've got 1.5 inch poly pipe in this trench heading towards the greenhouse. And there's going to be 2 stops. The first stop, what I want to accomplish is have the option of taking this water and either putting it directly in the garden just with gravity fed, or create a separate system that, say, pumps pond water all the way up to the main meadow of the farm and water the trees that way. I could do a lot of different things with it, but when you're doing a plumbing project, you know, this is your chance to pipe it in. So I'm gonna make a T with a pipe coming up and a valve to control on off, and then I'm just gonna house it in that little plant pot to kind of do a little frost protection. And then you can see those little screw-in footers there. That's my temporary plan for where the gate into the greenhouse is gonna go. And then the reason I needed to plan that out is because it's going to be a solar powered system for what pumps water into the greenhouse. And I figured if I need to mount some solar panels, you know, get multiple uses out of the structure that's going to hold those solar panels, and let it also be a kind of support structure for the gate that goes in. So there'll be some kind of square little shed roof here with solar panels on it, and also kind of receiving the gate that lets us into the garden. And then there will be a pump pushing water the rest of the way into the greenhouse. Okay, kids. So all this piping is connected to the pond, and it's all using gravity flow right now. And so the way gravity affects water is, if I'm holding this above the height of the pond right now, water can't come out. But if I get it low enough, and if this is lower than the surface of the pond, then water can come out. So the height of the pond is somewhere in between, you know, up here and right here. Anyone want a drink? I'll keep slowly going up.
It's spraying.
So it stopped right there. So the pond height is somewhere around here.
Can we step in it?
As it fills up, that'll be higher. That's right. Yep. All right, continuing to make progress. The little solar pump just arrived, so I'm mocking up what that's going to look like. I've got a little box here, and I need to dig it in a little bit better, but I'm glad to see that the valve and the little pump will all fit within the size of this box. I need to tidy up this digging a little bit more, since that pump is touching the trench on that other side. Okay, we've got the little pump set up in the box, and Tina is coming with a 12-volt battery and some jumper cables, so we get to do a little test. See if the pump works and see if the piping works and pumps water into the greenhouse. Been working out 3 times a week. She's getting buff. All right, let's see some muscles. There they are.
I can't curl this thing.
Ooh, nice high row. All right, or high pull.
And electricity too.
So red is also plus. So this battery has a plus. So red goes on plus, and then the magic should happen right now when I do this.
Oh.
All right, we're pumping water.
See the water bubbling in there, Ivy?
So now Ivy, James, Arya, safely go around that battery and let's go check out the greenhouse.
Whoop, don't touch it.
Don't touch the battery, Ivy.
Come here, baby. 1, 2.
So that little plastic thing is an inline filter that I clean every so often. So it's a length of 1-inch pipe that's going to be full of air right now. So it'll take a little while. That little thermometer says it's 67 degrees in here. We also have a thermometer outside. Oh, there it is. We're watering.
The one outside says 54.
Okay.
Let me see. Yay!
Okay, so I'm happy with this little pump setup. I'll set up something temporary with a battery and a solar panel with that tote. And eventually I'd like to build a little shed-like structure with a solar panel on it that also acts as kind of the support structure for a gate right here into the garden. Important note about this trench that has the water line in it, I'm going to have it double as a French drain as well, because last winter there was a pretty wet area with kind of some spring water somewhere in here, and so rather than just backfill with dirt, I'm going to bring big rock and do rock all the way through here so that excess water, rather than heading towards the garden and the greenhouse, excess water will head straight down through this trench. That's why I went so heavy with rock right here, because any water that ends up here, I want it to slide on under rather than touch the pump and make problems there. All right, we just brought a hose and a little garden mister wand out here. We noticed this manure is super dry. Oh, it's kinked, sweetheart. The manure is super dry, so when we do drip, it just goes straight down. So our goal with this watering is try to get the entire bed rehydrated, and then we hope that the drip irrigation kind of spreads a little more laterally and doesn't just drop straight down. And then we're going to plant some various seeds. Alright, let's try some beets and spinach. Pull down instead of out, James.
It's just gonna fall out.
Okay, it's 11 a.m. We had a little freeze last night, but it's already 69 degrees in here and only hit a low of 46 in that spot. Okay, we'll take you inside the greenhouse so the wind noise doesn't come through, but there's a preview behind us of the fence project in action. Basically, as the weather held up in October, Tina and I were working as much as possible trying to beat the rain, and so we got that water project done. We started working on fence, and November has been super wet, and so here we've got some more material and tools stored in the greenhouse. And I don't know how much rain we've gotten in the last few weeks, somewhere between 4 and 6 inches, and the 10-day forecast is probably that much again. So the pond's filled up very quickly. Just we're wet and saturated. And what else is going on, sweetheart? We reunited the whole herd. I've slaughtered a couple male lambs, and through the winter I'll keep at it and basically slaughter every male before next spring's season. It just makes a lot of sense as far as you want to eat lamb when they're 8 to 12 months old is when they're the most tender. We're going to be feeding hay through the winter, so if we need to do some slaughtering anyways, that's a couple less mouths to feed hay to. And then heading into spring, when we get a boatload of new babies, you've freed up as much as you can free up out of the herd. So that's how the animals are doing. The dogs, of course, are doing great. They get a lot of treats because when we're slaughtering animals, there's a lot of bones and organs and different things we give them. We've been eating the livers. Tina has figured out a really good pate recipe.
Yeah.
So we're fancy pate eaters now.
So fancy. Yeah, that's my figuring out how to eat the lamb and our favorite ways to eat it has been fun for me. I like that part.
Yeah, and what's your leg of lamb recipe that's so good?
Leg of lamb, it's a pot roast recipe that I used for beef before, but and it's with onions and mushrooms, and it's really fun because we have our own oyster mushrooms that I make it with. So it's this big huge pot of food, and so much of it comes right here from the farm, which has been
we're harvesting tons of mushrooms.
Been great. It's a good feeling.
Cool. Okay, well, that's what's going on. A lot of things have wrapped up. Arya's volleyball wrapped up. James' soccer wrapped up. So winter time can be kind of a, well, fall and winter can be a bit of a slowdown period, which is good because we were go, 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 go.
Hibernation period.
Yeah, we like hibernating. All right, so when we come back, we're going to work on fence kind of as weather permits and just be brave and work in the rain because we'll have to do some of that and get the fence up and I don't know what else.
Jarvis loves to say that he has rainy day projects for like inside, but then it'll be pouring rain and he's still outside anyways.
Yeah,
that's where he
working
likes
outside
to be.
is way more fun than working inside. All right.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving. See everybody.
Bye.
Ivy, what is Mama cooking?
This and that.
What is that red stuff in the pan?
Meat.
Meat? It's the sheep liver. It's lamb liver. And and there's the sourdough bread. And Mama's making liver pate. So she's already got garlic and onions and good stuff.
From a lamb.
Yeah. From a sheep. From a sheep.
Ivy, I have a question. Who did my hair today?
Wow.